Hey guys, Beer League Season 6. Back at a Daytona Moto for the opening round. Not a terrible track by any means. I'm interested to see how the car handles, specifically when it's, the draft doesn't do much on road circuits, but maybe this track's long enough that it does, which I think is a good thing because it is hard. It's difficult to pass in this. But yeah, we'll see. So, starting off, this does have some difficult corners and some stuff that will catch you out. Turn 1 is pretty easy from a viewing standpoint. Not a viewing standpoint, but knowing when to brake. There's no brake lights in this car, but you can see the ass end kind of lift up there. If you're confident, the end of the line is completely acceptable for braking. That's pretty much what I'm going to be aiming for. Obviously clean air, no draft, etc. But if you want to be a little bit more conservative, right here is fine. The biggest thing you want to worry about is trying to keep your car straight as you brake. If you're putting a lot of wheel input in, you're going to lift off the left front and you're going to slow down substantially slower. So you can see I'm right on that edge of locking up the left front, and the whole time my wheel, if you look at the bottom left, is not turned much at all. So if you're struggling with that compared to mid corner, right? Look how much it's turned now. If you're struggling with locking up that left front, what you want to try to do is just rotate that car, see how it kicks the ass end out, and then keep that wheel straight as you can. Now, to get a good run through this, you want to be pretty wide. Being out here is a good thing, and then diving in to the apex of the corner. If you're doing that, though, just be warned, you're leaving a lot of open area, and people are going to wrongly, and I mean this, seriously, wrongly assume, oh, look at this, he's locked up, I'm going to take this inside. So just protect yourself. If you know that someone's actively trying to make a move on you, or they're going to, maybe take this a little bit tighter, and just defend yourself from that. Make them take the long way around, which at this track is not going to work. And I mean that if you're trying to pass on the outside, good luck. You have to be really good just to even run a single line out here. It's very important to hit this apex. So this is pretty difficult first corner, but once you get the hang of it, it ain't too bad. If you notice, I practice with high usage. Honestly, I think you should too. If you don't, it helps to have different spots. You'll see more brake markers in the track itself, and so I don't know. I find it important. Maybe you don't like it. That's fine. As we come into here, you can see where the lines end. The braking zone begins. You want to go a little bit deeper than this, not much. Make sure you're all the way out wide. So this is a hard view, but this 100-meter mark is like last chance. If you drew a line way over there, that's kind of if you go any farther than that, you're in trouble. So you can't see it in this view. I'm essentially right at that. Slam on the brakes, stay wide. And what you can see here is I lock the rear up for just a second. This corner especially, you want to downshift as late as possible. There's one shift. There's another shift. Right? You can see it on the clutch bar if you don't know. If I'm downshifting to third here, into second here, and then first here, this is going to grip lock the diff and I'm going to spin around, or I'm going to lose a lot of time because I'm lifting off the brakes. So I'm not downshifting into first until this corner, or this part of the corner, as essentially, as soon as the shift ends, I'm hopping right on the gas. Unlike Brands Hatch, this is an off track, so you can't use it, or maybe you can, but I think what happens is it ends. And then you'll get an off track either right there or right there. So you want to obviously hug it as tight as you can, but there's a lot of these really aggressive angles where if the center of your car goes across it, off track. And it kind of sucks, to be honest, but it is what it is. And so now we're entering the moto part of the layout. This is a complex corner, so we're going to sabotage the exit of this corner to set ourselves up for the left-hander. Again, there's 100-meter, I guess yards. We're in America. Feet? Because that's not 100 yards. Maybe it's 100 feet. Yeah, 100 feet. board. That's pretty much where I'm braking at. It's pretty conservative again. You can go a little bit later than that, maybe a car length. What you want to do, though, is stay really aggressive on the right-hand side. Don't let yourself carry out, because this is a really sharp first gear corner. And you can downshift to first here. I don't recommend it. Do it in the braking zone. Otherwise, again, diff lock. It's really hard in this car. It's totally opposite from the Mustang. The Mustang, you want to downshift as early as you could, and that would make the rear end grip. Here, the rears have plenty, and it's just going to overdo it. You're going to lose out. So like I said, we're way off to the right. You need to be all the way to the right, like I am. I don't know, you're just going to lose time if you don't, which is fine by me. Apex, that's pretty self-explanatory. And then your target is obviously way out here. This is an off track, which sucks because, I don't know, it's track. It doesn't seem like it should be, but whatever. So hold it in tight, kick out wide. And we're going to do the same thing in this section. Start out wide. Understand that you probably need to be a little bit farther in. Not this far, but like here if you're defending. Because you're just going to invite people to dive bomb you. And we want to brake, before that corner for sure. Before that corner. If you're braking there, good luck. About a car length before is pretty aggressive. That's what I did here. Typically, I try to do it maybe 2 car lengths. Hey, I'm learning. Last season I said widths. So downshift late again here. You'll notice as you lock up that it'll just kick out the rear. Here I'm locking up the left front again, which I'm right on that verge of it being okay versus losing a lot of time. And so as we continue through, we're going to stay far left as we can. Why? So we can take this. This is a double apex right-hander. But the apexies, I don't even know, are really far apart. I don't know. One of the smart people will correct me on it. There's one. There's another. And here's something I want to just really quickly say. I mean, it looks like I'm roasting these tires every chance I get. I'm actually pretty easy on them. I went into the garage, but every time you go into the garage, you reset. I'm like 99% sure that these tires are bugged because my outside temps, my outside temp for this was 107 degrees after like 6 or 7 laps or something. And the hottest temp was like 147. And yeah, I'm saying left front. I don't know why. The left front wears more than the right front. Temperatures are going to go higher on the right front, but the tread is going to be lower on the left front. Again, I'm not really sure why. I'm pretty sure that this tire model is bugged in some way. Okay, so back on topic, now that I got super distracted. We want to be super wide. Here's 2 really, really, really easy off tracks, and they suck, and I hate them. This is one of them, right? We talked about those 90 degrees. And then as you push out wide, this little thing kicks out a lot farther than it looks, especially if you're not taking a wide line on the way in, right? So if we're here, just hitting that is so easy. In fact, you can see I'm on lap 16. I did not want to do 16 laps. I had to do all these damn laps just to get one in the 143s that didn't have an off track. So really, like, this was learning and experimenting. But like from here out, this is me trying to not get an off track. And most of them came, like I said, right from that area. Right here is one. You can see how easy that is. And then here's another right there. Pretty easy line up to the bus stop. You can brake at the one. I think it's important to brake a little bit earlier than the one to really get the car rotated. And people are always surprised about how much curb you can take here. The goal is to be as far left as you can to really create a shallower line on the way through this. This is another stupid off track, and I hate it. I don't know. It's terrible. So you want to be as far left as you can so you can stay straight, because as terrible as those off tracks are, this one's not. Watch this. Not an off track. And I get a really poor run out of it, but this is not an off track until, let's see. Gosh dang it. Why can't I do it? Oh, I can do that. Until you get right on that grass, not that clay stuff. I don't even know what that is. I guess it's like Daytona sand. But yeah, it sucks because it's just another inconsistency of iRacing when it comes to off track, how aggressive they are here and how little it matters here. But anyways, enough about off tracks. So I take this really well in the first two corners. I like that. Really aggressive staying right, but also I'm rotating the car before the corner. Don't try to rotate your car here. You're going to push out way too wide and lose a lot of speed. So here we're rotating the car as aggressive as we can before the corner. We're rotating the car aggressive as we can. I missed it. Before the corner, so that when we carry out, this is okay. I would love to be 6 inches farther to the right. And then this is okay. I would just love to be straighter so I don't have to do this little wiggle at the end. And then as we go through, just staying on the bottom line is completely fine. No real reason to go up. If you're trying to pass people and you stay down low, it's up to you to pass without crashing them. They have every right to stay right here as you're on the inside and not let you up. And if you wreck them, it's your fault. So if you're inside, pass cleanly or like, I don't know, don't and get yelled at. It's whatever. Then this is all easy. Go fast. Turn left. And so here I'm kind of just messing around. For pit entrance, there's these kinks. This first one is, you have to be pretty aggressive on the brakes, but it's not too bad. So as soon as you hit it, slam on the brakes. You do not have to stay in this area. You don't get a penalty for being even like way over here. So yeah, just go ahead and cut it a little bit. It's no big deal. I do think you have to be within these yellow cones though, so don't go there. I don't actually know, but I think that's a fuck around and find out area. Yeah, and so that got me there. It was a little aggressive, but at the same time, you can back it up 5 feet. It's no big deal. But yeah, so we'll watch a quick onboard of that lap. You can see how much that looks like an off track. It's pretty wild. And then the last thing I'll talk about is brake bias. I left it stock for this one. I actually moved it after, 51.3. You can move it back, and that's going to help you in turn one, and it's going to hurt you in the sweeping left-hander, like halfway through the moto part. So it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you want to adjust it all the way, all the time, go for it. But I'll run essentially right at 50% for the race. And obviously I'll update you guys if that number changes at all. But yeah, as always, I leave my data up on Garage 61. So steal it, race against the Ghost. I always think that's the best way to practice, racing against the Ghost. And yeah. All right, excited for round one. See you guys Wednesday.